Good morning, everyone. I am Drena, and this is Learn TV. Thank you for joining us again. Today, with my colleague Nicola, we're interviewing two new guests with a fresh topic.
In our studio with us is Petar Dimovski, who is the newly promoted head of Leadership Academy at LEORON Institute. And later, via direct call, we will be welcoming the expert in communication skills, Jonathon Fielder. Both of them will share their experience in a discussion about learning trends in soft skills.
Petar, it's our pleasure to welcome you today.
Pleasure to be here, Diana. Thank you.
As the third calendar year of the pandemic begins, 2022 promises to be an important one, especially for the education. How did LEORON Institute adapt to the trendy virtual learning methods?
Nicola, starting from March 2020, with the struck of the COVID-19 pandemic, it brought about years of change that were a precedent in the way business was done worldwide. It didn't matter what your industry was, where your clients are located, or how you provide your services. It was felt everywhere. So that situation required new strategies. In order to stay competitive in this new economic reality, we needed to find a way to deliver our services to our clients as best as we could. So that specifically nudged us in direction to innovate, sort of how to stay close to our clients at the same time. We have delivered virtual training prior to that, but never on that scale. What happened was we are now in a sort of new reality and required totally different mindset in order to stay above the water, to stay competitive. So what happened was our entire organization rallied together towards our common goal, delivering uninterrupted, top-notch quality training to our clients. And I think we did that effectively.
It seems like you did a great job.
Petar, what about the clients and trainers? How challenging was it to maintain and successfully deliver a course with different time zones?
For me, as someone who works together with both our clients and our trainers, it was definitely something to watch, to be part of. It was very interesting to see how all those challenges and impediments down the road were managed successfully. We had trainers, waking up at 2:30 a.m. To deliver a training at 3 a.m. To the other side of the world. We had, clients requesting, trainings in morning and afternoon sessions, even up to 11 p.m., just to stay in line with their training plans, and it was up to us to be successful in delivering that to them. So it really was interesting to see this new synergy that was practiced from all sides, and the flexibility that was seen during this time was really something new, and something that we can take some positives from it.
Excellent.
As we can see by now, it seems as the training industry has adapted quite smoothly to the so-called new trends. Is there any issue or maybe issues faced along the process?
Change doesn't come with comfort. Every change is, something new, something that is not, it's challenging the status quo. With every change, there are some, challenges down the road, some impediments that you need to remove as you move forward. So, as with virtual learning, it was definitely the same. However, we've been managing that successfully. Online learning requires self-discipline. And when you don't have the synergy of classroom and your teammates or students together with you, it's really challenging to stay focused all the time. Luckily for us, we stepped up our game, and with the live virtual training programs where the instructor is there with the participants, we maintained the focus and continued to deliver the trainings to the level of feedback that we had even with the classroom trainings. How we did that was we reached cohesion between how the participants perceived our training and how the instructors delivered. That meant including new and innovative ways of case studies, gamification approaches, some group work while delivering online training. So the challenges were actually opportunities for us to explore how we can make our services better.
Excellent.
Petar, for being up to date, what are the top global education trends to follow?
Technology is driving the educational sector in 2022. It goes without saying that the rise of mobile technology and the Internet of Things is disrupting the ways that education is seen. The growth of technological capabilities meant that a variety of media and learning support tools are here to help the clients, the students to get to gain education. But at the same time, we have many devices taking the attention away from the students while they are following virtual training. So we wanted to create experience and attention-grabbing lessons with our approach that will stay with our students even after the training is finished. Now, with a seemingly infinite number, as I said, of outside factors that steal the attention of the clients, it's fairly challenging to do that. Luckily for us, we employed new ways such as gamification. We want to create a new experience and attention-grabbing lessons for our students that will stay after the training is done. Now, with a seemingly infinite number of devices vying for the student attention, it's fairly challenging to do that. So we had our imperative was to craft lessons that will be both gripping and educational. Gamification has its place here. Gamification, simply put, is the definition of using of game-related activities in a non-game context. So that meant that we had to learn, how to introduce, goals, targets, and achievements for the participants on online training while making, learning fun. On the other hand, one of the most important skills in the workplace include critical thinking, problem solving and decision making, people management. So employers want to see emerging professionals who understand how to make decisions when they're faced with crisis and when things don't go smoothly. So this will be the educational trends in 2022.
Research shows us that several Fortune 500 companies across the globe have recognized the importance of soft skills training in achieving optimum productivity and profitability. Do you think that this is due to the fact that many companies had to switch to work remotely?
Yes and no. Maybe the pandemic and remote work, brought the need for enhanced soft skills training to light, but the importance was always there. Many Fortune 500 companies chose to invest heavily in their soft skills training because it practically meant investing in their sustainability. Investing in professional development programs that improve non-technical skills brings improved collaboration skills, which in times of pandemic are of extreme importance, bring to new level the decision-making skills, improve accountability, and lead to innovative workforce. In a globalized world of increased competition, the stakes are always on the line. That means the importance of soft skills can be understated. Studies and researches around the globe show that the most important aspect on training and soft skills is communication. It's always on communication. Ultimately, one of the most important skills, whether say it hard or soft, is being able to come around with different people and work toward a common goal. Technical skills and technical abilities offer solution to technical problems. However, crisis management and critical decision making requires a refined soft skills. Many Fortune 500 companies know that, and that's why they're heavily investing in the soft skills training of their employees. And I really do believe that it's just going to pick up the pace and be of even more crucial importance in the years to come.
Petar, thank you very much for your answers.
Thank you, Joanna, for the invitation to be here.
Our pleasure. We will now connect to Jonathon and welcome him in our show. Hello, Jonathon. How are you?
I'm very good, thank you.
Jonathon, let's start first of all with defining what soft skills are and what do they matter?
Yeah, that's a very good question. When we talk about the idea of soft skills, there's an implication that there are also hard skills. So I would define a hard skill as the technical or the administrative competence that you need to do your job. If you were an engineer, you would need to know about engineering. If you were a lawyer, you need to understand about law. So there's a technical competence that all employees need to have to do their job. Now, soft skills, on the other hand, these are the more desirable or necessary skills that you need to improve in your profession. So simply being an engineer and knowing engineering may not always be enough. They may need to know about time management or collaboration, working together with the team, being able to negotiate contracts. So soft skills are an integral part of our work, and we often define them as the difference that makes the difference. Many of us will have had the experience of working with a manager who has all the right qualifications to be a manager. They may have a bachelor's degree in management or an MBA from a famous business school. Maybe they're a member of a famous or prestigious management association. So they have all the right qualifications to manage, but unfortunately, when it comes to putting it into practice, they struggle. They can't manage their time. They can't influence or lead others. They can't motivate their employees or communicate clearly. So there we see the importance of being able to develop soft skills as well.
Jonathon, how well can an employee do without the proper soft skills, even though they tick for every box on the technical requirement?
Yeah, I would argue not very well. Now, again, everything is relative. So if you were an engineer, well, clearly you need to have an engineering background. However, you're going to be working in a team of maybe 10, 15 other engineers who all have the same qualification. They probably all have similar experience. So what differentiates you? What separates you from your internal competition? Well, that's probably the soft skills, your ability to manage yourself in other ways. So yes, they are very important to develop.
Jonathon, as an expert in the communication field, what are the top 5 soft skills you think every person should have, regardless of their position or career?
Yeah, very good question. If we define leadership as the ability to influence others, then I would argue that probably the most important is influencing skills or negotiating skills. If you are a manager, you'll certainly need to influence your team, your colleagues, your subordinates. If you were a salesperson or customer service representative, you'd need to influence your customers or your clients. If you're an employee, you need to influence your colleagues. So influencing is very important. Alongside influencing, negotiating. Whether that's negotiating a price with a customer or negotiating a contract with a supplier, whether it's negotiating with your colleagues or your manager, that would also be very important. Certainly communication skills, that would be my second choice as well. Being able to communicate verbally, present yourself either on Zoom or to a live audience, or communicate in terms of written communication via email or correspondence. And of course, in this post-COVID environment, we want to look at the importance of digital literacy as well with regard to communicating. Number 3, I would say collaboration and teamwork, the ability to not just work independently, but to transfer your skills into a team environment to ensure that you can help collectively achieve the KPIs or the vision of the team. Time management is also very important, the ability to manage time. It's all very well to have the technical skills that are your job, but if you can't do them in a given time frame, you're going to be very, very ineffective at work. And number 5, I would say problem solving and decision making. The ability to work through a problem, find an appropriate solution, and then decide on the solution you're going to implement. So they would be my top 5, really. But we'd also need to consider less tangible skills such as adaptability, service orientation, optimism, resilience. And the more astute listener will recognize I've probably just defined what we would call emotional intelligence there, which is also very important.
Jonathon, there are a lot of best-selling books that help us get better in communication or leadership skills and so on, as well as countless videos over the internet that can teach you new skills in just 1 hour. In your expert opinion, what do you see as the most effective way to successfully master interpersonal skills?
Yes. Well, first of all, I would speak to your L&D manager, your learning and development manager, or your HR manager, the person in the organization responsible for learning and for developing soft skills. Speak to them. If you are an L&D manager, well, then I would imagine you've already worked on an established training plan. And of course, that will certainly help. If you are working with an organization where that's not the case, well, I would encourage you not to be helpless and hopeless, but to take responsibility. Ask yourself, well, if the company is not supporting me, where can I learn? How can I get the information? One of the things which is helpful to think about is, are you aware, are you willing, and are you able? So awareness requires self-awareness, seeing yourself as you actually are. We all like to look at our strengths, but also look at your development areas. Where do you need to develop? A good place to do that is to ask people. Ask your manager, look at previous appraisals. Where are they telling you that you need to work on yourself? When you're aware of the areas that you need to work on yourself, ask yourself, am I willing? Do I want to actually invest time and work on this particular area? And if you're willing, are you then able? Where can you find the information from? So of course, being sent on a training program is great. Being sent on a LEORON program is even better. But if that's not the case, check the internet, Google, YouTube. There are many wonderful authors out there. Some of my favorites would be Simon Sinek, the American-based, British-born anthropologist and leadership expert. Marcus Buckingham, who works specifically in strengths, or Patrick Lencioni in his work in team building. As well as their paid content, you'll find lots of free resources. So follow them on Instagram, on Facebook, on social media. Check them out on YouTube or Google. You'll be amazed at how much free information is available if you search for it. Now, that won't give you a qualification in the same way that a LEORON course would, but it would certainly give you the knowledge and it would help you to implement that back in the workplace.
In your experience with LEORON and working with people from the GCC, what would you say are the most highly requested soft skills training topics in the region? Which ones would you recommend to our viewers?
Yeah, now again, that question is going to be very industry specific, but if I look across the industries, management development and leadership programs are always very popular. Emotional intelligence is becoming very popular in the region as well. The ability to teach our employees to become self-aware of their strengths and development areas, to learn to manage those, to develop the skills of social awareness and relationship management. I often find that teamwork, collaboration, problem solving, decision making, these are often courses that our client base asks us to look for as well. We're living very much in a VUCA environment now, especially post-COVID, where we're working in an environment which is far more volatile, far more uncertain, far more complex, far more ambiguous than it was 2 years ago. And we have to ensure that our employees' skill sets and our own skill sets keep up with this new post-COVID world.
Petar and Jonathon, thank you very much for all the information you shared with us, and thanks for being part of this show. It was a real pleasure having you today.
Thank you for having me.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was all for today's episode. Thank you for following us again. There is more of this coming in the next days.
Please feel free to leave us a comment or write if you think there is a topic we can cover for you. Just drop us a message and we'll review it with our team. Until next time, stay tuned.